Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today, oh my god, the Snyder Cut of Justice League is real and it's been confirmed. Oh my god. Bro, so I just want to oh my god. I mean, I'm sure you all know by now. But I wanted to use this opportunity not only to just make a video about it, get my thoughts out there, and you know, um, so this is something I know a lot of people who had the thing of, oh, it's just gonna suck anyway. Why do you want to see it? It's just gonna be trash. And personally, I so let me give you my opinions on yeah, to get the beginning stuff out of the way. The Snyder Cut has been officially confirmed. Except it's coming out 2021. That's kind of far away. Probably in a year from now. Probably like June of next year. But yeah, it's on HBO Max. And look, I don't want to say I told you so to anybody, but like, and I made a tweet saying this. Probably I think it was back in October. It was around the time Disney Plus released. I saw somebody tweet this idea. They'd be like, "Yo, what if the Snyder Cut was like an HBO Max exclusive?" And then I thought, I was like, "Holy shit!" And then I wrote a tweet, and I was like, "Yeah, if they did the Snyder Cut for HBO Max, and that's like the only way you can see it to subscribe to their new service, that would be genius." And here we are, a bunch of months later, and that's exactly what happened. Snyder Cut for HBO Max. And yeah, apparently Zack Snyder said it's going to be like an all new experience. He said what, like you've only seen 1/4 of the thing, and oh my god, I mean it's surreal. And you know what the weirdest shit? The weirdest shit was WB Montreal, right? Who hasn't tweeted in so long, and now they've started to tweet recently. They tweeted, they were like, "Oh, are you excited to watch this?" And I'm sitting there thinking, WB Montreal tweeted about the Snyder Cut that now exists. Could you imagine? Could you even imagine a tweet like that would ever exist? WB Montreal tweeting about the Snyder Cut that is now real. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. I'm like, what? I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? I just like can't believe it. But I don't want to. I'm getting off my high horse for a sec. I knew this was gonna happen. I really did. I didn't make like any videos about it though, because I honestly I didn't want to receive like hate, and backlash. Because that's all that happens. If you say anything about the Snyder Cut, you just get hit with a wave of, "You suck, bro. That shit's never gonna happen, bro. The Snyder Cut is just gonna be trash, and WB's never gonna release it, right?" And like, and if you say, "Oh, well, how did you know?" Like, there's no way you would know. Well, I want you to think about it like this, all right? Who? So I'm talking about Zack Snyder. Who hints at a project for years if it ends up not existing at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to think about that. What kind of person hints at a project for years and then at one point just goes, "Hey, oh yeah, it never existed, it was never going to exist, and oh yeah, and it's just nothing. I spent 3 years tweeting about nothing, and I'm just gonna move on to my next movie now." Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine this. Imagine, right, that I have a girlfriend, quote unquote, and I post pictures of me and my girlfriend to Instagram or whatever for like 3 years, me and this person. And then after 3 years, I go, "Oh, that whole thing was fake. That girl wasn't really my girlfriend. We're not really in a relationship. And that whole 3 years, it was just a fake thing. It was nothing." Like, would that make any sense at all? You know what I'm saying? That would make no sense. So I knew the fact that Zack Snyder was putting on Vero all these pictures. Yeah, like, and the problem with the Snyder Cut doesn't exist theory is that he was posting pictures of things that literally could not have existed. Like, okay, spoiler alert, now that this is going to be a real thing, and we kind of already know what's going to happen in the movie. Okay, so spoiler alert, okay? If you don't want to get spoiled, sort of, I don't know, just stop listening. But Darkseid's in the movie, and there was like a finished CG like image of him. Apparently, and that's at the end of the movie. Now, I guess you can make the argument, well, maybe they worked on it early on in development. Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Isn't that something you save for the end, right? Because he's at the end of the movie? I don't know. I know that things get created out of order all the time, but I'm like thinking, if the Snyder Cut didn't exist, then why does a full render of Darkseid CG in the scene in question, why does that exist at all? You know? That's just where I sat with it. But anyway, let's get past that. That was a little bit of a tangent. So I want to tell you a little bit about my experience, and then I'm going to end the video. The thing is with Man of Steel, I'm going to go with my gut on Man of Steel. When I saw Man of Steel, I kind of didn't like it, honestly. And, like, I thought it was just not good, really. And I don't know. I just don't love that movie. I just think it has some issues, you know? Like, I don't know. I thought there was a lot of cringe parts in the movie. Like, you know the part at the end when the girl's, like, giggling, and he's like, what are you laughing at? And then she's like, oh, I just think Superman's kind of hot. Like, I don't know. Like, I found that shit so weird. I think Man of Steel is good, I guess, but I don't really like it that much. There's just a lot about it I don't really like. But Batman v Superman, dude, I love that movie, okay? I know a lot of you were probably like, whoa, how could you love that movie? I love that movie. I love every single thing about that movie. When the reviews first came out, I remember this shit vividly. I barely had a channel back then. I had like 10 subscribers at the time, I think, or 20. Not that I have a lot now, but you know, comparatively speaking. And everyone was saying that it either sucked or it was okay or it was like the worst movie ever. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's so sad. And then I saw it and I loved it. I loved it. I loved everything about that movie. I don't know. And F everybody. I think the Martha scene makes total sense, bro. Maybe I'll like go into that in the future, but I still don't get that shit. That scene makes total sense, bro. That scene completely makes sense. Like to push it into the thing, Batman's being an asshole the whole movie. He's straight off his path completely. And there's this argument also online where it's like, Batman would never do this. Okay, it's like these characters are not the original characters, okay? Superman's like an introvert, and he like doesn't like even want to be Superman, really. Batman is like an asshole. Like people need to understand when they watch the DCEU, these are not the characters, right? These are different characters. It's sort of an Elseworld thing, right? People need to understand this. I don't know why they don't get it, right? Henry Cavill's Superman doesn't like smile. Isn't that like an immediate indication that this isn't like the regular Superman and that you have to approach this differently? Yeah, whatever, right? So when Batman's going the whole movie killing and he's just like, F it, I don't care. First of all, this ain't the regular Batman. So you can't just sit there going like, Batman would never do this. It's an Elseworld story, bro. What about Gotham by Gaslight, where he's literally in England, and I don't know, what century was that? I don't even know. And he's tracking down Jack the Ripper. It's like, if you watch that, would you go, Batman would never do this? Like, come on, man. Really? What about the Batman Ninja movies? When he summons bats to become a giant bat robot? I don't think Batman would ever do this. He's holding a samurai sword, bro. He's You need to approach these movies differently, right? What about Flashpoint Batman? He literally uses a gun, right? Do you sit and look at that? And he's like, oh, I don't think Batman. Like, all right, anyway. Anyway. Moral of the story here, right? He's being a total asshole, right? In the beginning of the movie, it shows the sequence that he became Batman in the first place. That his parents were shot by this cold-blooded killer, and this Batman, I think, is even more different in the fact that this Batman, very specifically, he just cannot get over his parents' death, right? The whole movie. I think other versions of Batman suppress it a lot more. Like Batman in the Arkham games, I think he really suppresses it deep, and it still saddens him, like, deeply. But, like, he obviously, he doesn't bring it up as often. But the Batman in this movie, I mean, it's really shown that I think he thinks about it every minute of his life. And he's like, I think he's like 40 something in the movie, Bruce Wayne, and it's very clear that this is the only like thing that he really thinks about is his parents' death after all this time. It's brought up constantly in the movie. So there's a lot in this movie that is different from normal Batman. You can't approach these things. So what I'm getting to here, I'm going to get to the Martha thing, and then I'm going to go on. But I just want to use this time to say how I feel about this, right? So Batman, of course, so you got to go into this Martha scene being like, Batman really just and you gotta, there's so much you gotta understand. He is so deeply affected by his parents' death. He literally cannot stop thinking about it his whole life, right? And he's lost, like, basically everybody in the Bat family. We can assume, at least Robin, but as we know, death affects him so deeply, right? At the beginning of the movies, he protects the little girl whose parents was killed, and then he looks up and he sees Superman and this other Kryptonian, and he's like, F these. He's like, and when he looks up, it's so obvious that it's like he's the little kid looking up at the guy who shot his parents, right? It's like these things are so obvious. So when you get to the Martha scene, right, he's about to kill Superman because he thinks killing Superman is going to solve all of his problems, right? Because he's been so disillusioned and he's so clouded by like hatred and loss and all that, that he goes to kill Superman, and then Lois shows up and she's like, oh, and then he's like, save Martha. And so immediately, right, because I played Arkham Knight that summer before I saw that movie, so my mind immediately went to like, he probably for a split second thought he was in some sort of like scarecrow hallucination, right? Where like he was gonna kill him, and then he was like some save Martha thing. Like he probably thought for a second, he's like, is this like a scarecrow like fear hallucination thing? Not that that's in the movie, but I feel like knowing Batman and the fact that, you know, everything he's been through, he probably that effed with him. Like, I need you to understand this. Let's say your parents are dead, right? And you're about to like kill a guy, right? And then this guy literally says your dad, save John. Right? Would you be like, whoa, like what? And this is a dude that has so much PTSD from his parents' loss, that, right? And what happens in that scene is that he literally gets reminded why he's Batman in the first place, right? He's literally reminded that the parents' death is why he took the oath to never kill, and that's why he's Batman in the first place. and he recognizes this in the moment. He throws away that spear, and then he goes up to Superman, realizing that he's totally been wrong about the whole thing, and he's like, I'm gonna save your mom. Literally, he's just saying in that scene, I'm gonna be Batman again. He realizes he was wrong, and that he's been a cold-blooded like killer now, and he realizes, I need to do this now. So, and then he goes and does it. All right. I don't know why I said all that, but like literally, and is there anything wrong with what I just said? And does any of that not happen? The Scarecrow hallucination thing is just something that I referenced. I feel like knowing Batman, he probably thought for a second, is this like a hallucination? You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, I just wanted to illustrate the fact that I love Batman v Superman. Oh, maybe the only thing I don't love is Lex Luthor. I think some of his scenes are a little weird. But he's just a weird character, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with this character. I think he's just a little hard to watch. But then again, it's like, with the Joker movie. I mean, that movie's hard to watch. It's a masterpiece, but it's hard to watch. I just feel like it's the same thing. If something's hard to watch, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that what you're watching is uncomfortable by intention, by design. Unless it sucks, unless it's not good. Which you can think Lex Luthor's his performance is not good. And, it's fine. It's your opinion. I just think it's intentional by design. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know why I had to do that, but anyway, I am so happy that the Snyder Cut, so I love BVS, right? The point of this whole thing I was saying is that I'm so happy that the Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to continue this story. And I'm a little scared to see how this plays out, because apparently it's kind of effed up. Okay, here's another spoiler. Here's a big spoiler. So, two things. Apparently, you remember in the scene when Wonder Woman saves all those people from those robbers with the guns? Well, apparently, in Zack Snyder's version, she fails and all those people die, right? Apparently, they all get shot and they die. And that's when Wonder Woman she realizes, holy shit, I can't do this alone. I can't save the... You know how in Justice League, all the posters had, you can't save the world alone? Literally, the point of the movie was that, right? And sadly, that's going to be a hard scene to watch, but that was literally the point of the movie. The fact that Wonder Woman was able to save all the people and get the bomb and save everybody, it literally goes against the core idea of the movie, that they need to develop a team because they can't work alone to stop the threats that is in the movie. I mean, so obviously it's like that's one of the things I hate most about the regular Justice League. I mean, thematically, none of it makes any sense. In BVS, everything thematically makes sense. Everything is part of the story and the message, right? But in the theatrical Justice League, it's we need to develop a team, but we actually can do this whole thing on our own, and we don't actually need to be a team, right? So it's stuff like that I feel like is... That alone is why I wanted to see this. And also, here's the other thing. The Flash thing. Oh, that's a big spoiler. I don't know if I want to say any of that. Alright, here's another spoiler. Okay, fine. I'm just going to talk about spoilers, right? Apparently, they fail at the end of Justice League, and Flash just goes back in time, and he warns Batman. Remember in BVS when Flash shows up to tell Batman that Lois is the key? That happens because they literally fail at the end of Justice League, or in the middle of Justice League, I don't know. And Flash literally goes to Batman and literally tells him that Lois is the key. But when he says, "Is this too soon?" and all that, I think Flash realizes he literally went to the wrong point, right? Batman and Flash obviously said, if something goes wrong, I need you to run back in time and tell me about it. But when he says, am I too soon? He realizes he accidentally went to the wrong point in time. And in BVS, we literally see the scene makes no sense because we don't even know what he's talking about, right? But I just love shit like that, dude. Think about it in context. He literally is like, oh my god, I went to the wrong time, right? I literally went to the wrong point in the timeline that Bruce wanted me to go to. And he totally F's it up. And we don't know how that plays out in the movie yet because obviously it doesn't exist yet. So I'm excited to see how that's going to really unfold now, because now we're really actually going to find out. We're going to see the fact that Flash ran to the wrong point and he effed it up, and now we're going to see, you know, there's probably going to be a sequence where they do a short montage of Batman and then the end of BVS, and then I guess he kind of goes into the sequences of the Snyder Cut with new info, and the events slightly change. I mean, this is cool, man. Wouldn't that be cool? What if the end of the movie is Batman sort of going through the first few hours, of course much sped up, of course, and you get to see a lot of the sequences play out again, but Batman has new knowledge, and he eventually takes that knowledge throughout the course of the movie. I have no clue how that'll play out. And then with his new information, they're able to defeat Darkseid or Steppenwolf or both with this new information they didn't have the first time. It's sort of like an Endgame thing, but the problem is that this Justice League thing was what he wanted the whole time, right? Apparently Justice League was supposed to be 2 parts, with the first part ending with Flash going back, and then I guess part 2 would be Batman doing the events over again, but with new info or a new weapon, or he says Lois is the key, so he probably has to protect her in some way. Oh yeah, here's the other thing. Apparently Lois dies. Oh yeah, I forgot. Apparently Lois dies, and then Superman turns to the dark side because of Darkseid, using the anti-life equation, which, if you don't know what that is, it basically means that he can just control whoever he wants, basically. And he gets control of Superman because Lois dies, and then he's able to take him over, and then, yeah, they're effed. They're completely effed, right? I mean, it's like Steppenwolf, Darkseid, and Superman are all against them. They're effed. So what Batman has to do at the end of the movie is he has to make sure Lois doesn't die. We don't know how that's going to happen, but yeah. Which, oh my god, that means the end of BVS might play out differently too. Oh shit. Of course, we don't know anything yet. So this has just been my sort of theory and speculation, but oh my god. How cool does that sound? And I just want to say, right? Okay, I care obviously what people think, but the fact that Zack Snyder put in a scene where a character from a movie we didn't even see yet shows up and interrupts the movie because of I think that's cool as hell, you know? It makes no sense in the movie, but now that we know what that was about, it's cool. He literally interrupts the movie we're currently watching with something that happens in the future that we don't even know about yet. I don't know. I think that's cool as hell. But anyway, obviously you can see how excited I am that this exists, the Snyder Cut. There's so much that I want to see now. It's cool. It's so cool. That bullshit, like, mustache Superman CG thing, I mean, that was fucked up. I mean, how did they release that movie, bro? How did they release that movie? It looked so bad. It looked so bad, right? I literally cringe to this day just thinking about how awful. I mean, the DCEU did not need any of that. It did not need, more memes, more people taking jabs at it, and that's what the theatrical Justice League did. It created this bad situation, and it made it even worse. People made fun of it even more. It was literally the last thing we needed. So that's why I'm so happy that this exists. Alright, anyway, I am done rambling. You can see that I really care about this. So I cannot believe this. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope my theories and speculation and analysis, I hope it all made sense. I want to hear what you guys think, though. I know the Martha scene is really controversial, so I want to see what you guys think. Leave a comment if you think the Martha scene sucks and it makes no sense. Really, I want you to explain, like, your perspective, though, because I know so many people don't like that scene, and I just don't get it. I think it makes sense, right? Like, if you need to re-listen to what I said, re-listen to it. Like, I don't know. I have no problem with that scene. I think it makes complete sense. I think I've identified the problem with the scene. I think it happens too quickly. I've never been able to understand what the issue is, and now I know what it is. I think the scene is just too quick. I think Batman's turnaround from I'm going to kill you to now we're friends and I'm going to save your mom. I think the turnaround is too quick. They probably needed more dialogue. I didn't need more dialogue, but I guess people need more dialogue to understand. I understood. I mean, is Batman really the type of character to go, oh, I'm just going to tell you how I'm feeling right now? It would have been necessary, I guess, for the people who didn't understand, but it's just, is Batman really that type of character? Who's like, well, I know I was just going to kill you, but I really have a lot going on in my mind. I just want to tell you, right? Batman is not that kind of character. So I can understand that. Superman would say, I was just like, man, I really just don't think I can do this. He's the type of character that would talk about it. But Batman isn't, right? Do you think he's going to sit there and like be upset and be like, I'm so sad. I'm going to talk about my problems, right? Nah. But anyway, please tell me your analysis tell me if you're excited about the Snyder Cut. I want to hear your analysis. Leave me long comments. Just detail how you feel, because I just want to get it. People hate that scene, and I just want to understand, because I just don't. I think it's a great scene. Am I forgetting something? Am I missing something? I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're as excited as I am. Yeah, and more Injustice videos are coming. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Keep on fighting. Have a fantastic day.
You're letting him kill Martha.
What does that mean?
Why did you say that name?
Stop! Please, stop!
Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name. It's his mother's name.
We